There are 4 funding options you can access for your business. 4 funding options. 1, grants. Grants. So grants are free money. They are non-repayable. You can access them from NGOs, from government, from international donors, other donor agencies. They are free money, but they are tied to impact. They are tied to project. They are usually donated for a particular cause. So it could be a project that you want to implement in a rural community, but you have to prove that there's a natural problem, there's a solution which you've developed to solve this problem. And of course, like I said, they are tied to impact. So it comes with a lot of reporting to the donor. So you do a lot of reporting, create impact, tell your impact story, and all of that. The good size of grants is that it is free, absolutely free. You're not going to pay back, there is no interest, nobody's taking any ownership, no part of your business. It's absolutely free. But like I said, they are tied to a project and there's a lot of reporting. The downside to grants is just the reporting part. You have to do a lot of reporting. I've gotten a lot of grants for my startup, also to fund some projects, and it involves a lot of reporting. The donors are always calling you at any time to submit reports and all of that. That's the downside of grants. Number 2, equity. So equity investment is raising capital in exchange for ownership. So you're giving out a part ownership of your company, known as shares, to the investor in exchange for capital. So of course, when the investor is coming on board, he's not just giving you capital. They're coming with mentorship, access to their network, they're coming with their team, they help in decision making, and all of the other things that they bring on board. What are the downsides to equity? Of course, you're giving out ownership, so you're giving out a part of your business, and also they have to interfere in decision making, in control, and every other thing related, because of course at this point their own money is at stake. They've invested in you. Third, debt financing. Borrowing, raising capital. You're at this point, you want to borrow from banks, and other financing institution, and usually it comes with interest, so you have to pay back the interest, use the loan to finance your business or project or whatsoever activity at that particular time. You could be buying equipment, you could be getting other things. However, you don't have to give out ownership of your business. You have to repay. You don't give anybody any part of your business. So you just get the loan at a certain interest rate, and then at the agreed time, you pay back the loan, pay back the interest. Now, the downside to debt financing, of course, is the pressure that comes with it. The pressure, you have to work hard to make sure you pay back the loan. I bet a lot of founders will tell you they can't sleep at night because they took out loans. And especially for a new business, it's not advisable to take out loans. Most times, startups, are built around ideas. So you might have that beautiful idea, and to you, it makes a lot of sense. It's going to work. If you make the mistake of taking out a loan to test that idea, I don't know. So, but then that's the downside to it, the pressure that comes with it. And that idea may not even work. It may not sell. Myself, I've tried a couple of ideas, a lot of them. You test and it doesn't work, and then, you have to move to the other thing. The last one on that list is what we call convertible note. So for convertible debt, you're taking the investor's money as a loan, a short-term loan, with the objective of converting it to equity in the nearest future. What this does for your business is, at the very early stage of your business, you don't have to start, you don't have to start doing all the valuation stuff, because most times you can undervalue your business, you can overvalue the business as scale away investors, you can undervalue the business and give away all of the ownership, the shares and all that. So it's one of the safest way to actually raise equity. So you start with convertible note. It's a blend of debt financing and equity. So you start with debt, they give you this money as a loan, as a debt with interest, short term, and then in the nearest future, you can convert to equity. So these are the 4 financing options for your business. Remember, I mentioned grant, I mentioned debt financing, I mentioned convertible note, and I mentioned equity investment. Now, to know more about those financing options, which is best for your business at this stage, and how to even access most of those funding opportunities, follow me for more.